Okay, welcome everyone to Stretch with a Leader today. We have Doug Thomas here with us. Doug, if you would tell us a little bit about your role with Intermountain, and then you can move into your Be Well moment and throw it back to me for the stretch part.
Great. Thank you, Cami. So my name is Doug Thomas. I'm a social worker by training, and I've been at Intermountain for a little over 2 years. I I'm on the community health team, and I'm the children's health director for the enterprise. And in that role, we get to uh, work closely with the community to identify the major needs that are happening in the community. We do that through surveys and through interviews and do a community health needs assessment every 3 years or so. And through that process, we identify the priorities that the community has really identified. They identify the priorities. We help vet them and get them out there. And right now, those priority areas are around mental well-being and around avoidable disease and injury prevention and the social determinants of health, especially focused on housing and food insecurity. And so once we have identified those major areas, then we help develop community health improvement plans to address those issues and really try to get upstream and work closely with our service line leaders and our organizational leadership, as well as community nonprofit organizations, federally qualified health centers, government, schools, to get those plans in place and to make the biggest impact in those areas. So it'll probably be no surprise to anyone that as part of my Stretch with a Leader today, we're going to focus on one of the aspects of mental well-being. And that's going to be my share today. One of the things, the value this month that we're focusing on, one of our new values is that we believe in what we do. And Intermountain Health has a great history of believing in what we do. And a foundation practice in mental well-being is our spiritual care. And our mission of helping people live their healthiest lives possible, and our Catholic mission that we reveal and foster God's healing love by improving the health of the people and communities we serve, especially those who are poor and vulnerable, includes us taking care of our own spiritual care and lives and those of the people and communities that we serve. The belief in the dignity of every human life is the foundation for these values. And I think many of us feel like we were called to healthcare for one reason or another. Sometimes it's because of personal experiences we've had with loved ones. Sometimes it's our own personal experience we've had. Sometimes we grew up in families who, I know some who their families have served in healthcare for generations. And no matter our backgrounds or our religious views, spirituality is foundational to our mental well-being, and it's actually one of the strongest factors that can help with depression. And so sometimes when we say spirituality, people go right to religion. And for about 50% of people, their spirituality is inside of their religious practice. And for about 50% of people, their spirituality and that connection to God or to nature is tied up in a spiritual practice that isn't tied to a religious practice. And that's really important because sometimes people forget that. And there's been a lot of research that's been done in this area. going out for a walk in nature has a more healing and restorative effect than going for a walk like in a cityscape. And retaining that sense of awe and that uh, sense of majesty, the divine, whatever you want to call it, can lift us and help us. And one of the spiritual practices that I love is I love mindfulness, and I love to pray. And so sometimes I'll have, start my day with a prayer and kind of plan out my day in my prayer, show a sense of gratitude in that prayer. And gratitude is another one of those foundational things. It's actually in our Lift Up, Huddle Up book. If you haven't seen, I encourage you. I can, when Cammie's doing the stretch, I'll throw the link to the Lift Up, Huddle Up book in the chat that has some great ways for us to connect with each other and our teams or our families, and really reduce the frequent mental distress that we all experience. And Dr. Lisa Miller, in her book, The Awakened Brain, The New Science of Spirituality and Our Quest for an Inspired Life, talks about the fact that people who practice spirituality are actually more open to new experience, to diversity and inclusion, and which was actually something that they didn't think they were going to see. They had their hypothesis, and actually found that when they had people who had any kind of spiritual practice, whether it was mindfulness or kind of going through memorized prayers or through any kind of spiritual practice, they were actually the ones who were the most open, statistically significant, to new experiences, new people, new cultures, new ideas. And one of the other things I really like to do is I have a dog who loves to go out in the morning, and we go out and we eat and play outside in the morning for a minute. And when we do that, I love to look at the mountains. We have, where I live, some beautiful mountains on either side. So whether I go out front and see the Stansbury Mountains, or I go out back and see the Ochre Mountains, that's one of those things that can really be fun. If I go out at the right time, I even get to see the sunrise or the sunset. And one of my favorite things to do is actually, I love to trail run, and getting out into the mountains and the paths are a place where I feel really connected to my spirit and spiritual health and to the divine. So as part of my share with you today, I just encourage you to lean in to your spiritual care and your mental well-being. It's really well researched that it can also lessen depressive episodes. And the book, The Awakened Brain, if you have an interest in this space, is a really great read about the science of spirituality and what's known and how it can help protect us from some of the things happening in our world today. We know that there's a lot going on with our mental health and mental well-being, and anything we can do to strengthen it is encouraged. So, Cammie, thanks for the opportunity to share and to be here to stretch with you today.
Thank you, Doug. Really appreciate you highlighting the element of spirituality, which is why maybe some of you aren't aware that spirituality has now been included in one of our dimensions of well-being in the new Be Well model. So thank you for sharing that today, Doug. Okay, we will move on to the stretch portion of Stretch with a Leader today. So go ahead and find yourself some space. All right, and in honor of Valentine's Day and spirituality, we're going to start with 3 heartfelt breaths. So go ahead and place your hands on your heart. Just find a comfortable place to stand. We'll just do 3 deep breaths here today. So as you inhale, expand through your belly, through your heart. And then big exhale. We'll do 2 more deep breaths just like that. Then go ahead and release your hands and we'll add some movement. So take feet just a little wider than hip width apart. Take a big inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, hinge forward, hands come to the thighs. And then we're going to take our right arm forward and our left arm down. And then as you stand up, switch those arms and then hinge forward again. Stand up, switch the arms. Hinge forward. One more time like this. Stand up, switch the arms, and hinge forward. Release hands to your thighs, and then just roll up slowly through your spine until you're all the way back to standing. Let's take arms out to the sides. Thumbs are sending back. Lift your heart up towards the sky. Maybe look up a little bit, and then reach forward, round through the back. Pull the shoulder blades apart, and let's do 2 more like that. Big inhale, and big exhale, reach forward. Big inhale, send the thumbs back, and exhale, reach forward. Go ahead and release the hands and do a few shoulder rolls to the back, and then shoulder rolls to the front. And then let's bring our hands up, fists together in the center, so elbows are pointing out, and we're just going to twist and pivot side to side. So just pivoting off one foot. And then just release your arms and let them swing as you twist. Okay, we're going to bring our feet together and then step the right foot forward and left foot's going to go back so the toes can be turned out on that back foot. Go ahead and take a little bend to the front knee and then send your right arm up, left arm down, hinge forward as you straighten the leg and then stand up and switch the arms, hinge forward, stand up and switch the arms. Feels kind of like a robot movement, doesn't it? Okay, go ahead and stand all the way up and let's switch the legs up. So left leg forward, right leg back, toes turned out on that back leg. Take the left arm up, right arm down, hinge forward, stand up, switch the arms, and hinge forward. Let's do this 2 more times. All right, go ahead and step the feet together. Hands on your thighs and hinge from the hips. Keep your legs mostly straight here, but knees can bend a little bit. And then just start to round forward. Go ahead and release your head. You can release your arms. Just bend your knees as much as you need to keep your lower back relaxed. Take a deep breath or 2 here. And then maybe sway your upper body a little bit side to side. And then plant your hands on your shins and use your hands to walk up your legs until you're all the way back to standing. All right, we're going to take arms big and wide. And then take right arm under left, round through the back, big hug. Let your elbows point down at the ground, look down. And then as you stand up, big arms, thumbs go back. And then wrap the arms, take left arm underneath, this time round through the back. And then stand all the way up, release those arms, hands to hips. We'll just finish with some hip circles. You can take your feet as wide as you'd like here. Just do a few hip circles. You can start small and then get them a little bigger. And then go the other way. And then go ahead and come back to the center, and you guys are all done. Thanks so much for joining today, and have a great rest of your day.